Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. Today we are back at Lijo Harbor to continue with a bit of semi-trucking. And yeah, I think it's about time we get into container deliveries. So these are the three semi-trailers for container loading. This one and the one in the middle here, those are both for 20-foot containers. So they can load one of those each. And the one in the back here, that's for either a single 40-foot container or two 20-foot containers. So I'll be using this one. The other two here are better for low power trucks and the ones that are a bit on the lighter side, like the one that I've been using for the past few episodes. So the upgraded version of this one right here. But I think it's time to retire that truck because it's not really working too well for heavier trailers. And yeah, I think there's something better here that I'll be showing you guys in a moment. I just also want to quickly mention that when it comes to delivering containers, there's also a whole another option that I want to try out at some point, but likely not anytime soon. And that is a 3-axle version of this truck right here. This is the CUDA. And there's also the container version that, as I mentioned, has the third axle, but also a flatbed on the back, which allows it to also load a 20-foot container. It's something that I really want to try and want to make sense if it really would be usable for anything. I feel like due to there only being one thing that you can do with that, being the containers, I don't know if it would be that good of an investment, so I'm holding off on it. Maybe it performs amazingly well and would be the best thing to use for 20-foot containers, but right now I have other priorities when it comes to stuff that I really want to try out, including this semi over here, the Golema, the new most expensive truck. 3-axle, which is also already a good start, based on a Peter build, and I mean, it's large, it's nice looking, so I got my own and also upgraded it. Here it is. So yeah, this one, it's a bit lower, it's a bit wider. I put the wheel spacers to maximum on the back two axles. Quite expensive, but definitely worth it. And yeah, I got the strongest engine for it, which surprisingly enough, when you first buy it, it has the same engine as the CUDA, being the 40, no, the 440 horsepower engine, I think. And you need to unlock the last engine at level 100 trucking beforehand in order to install that into anything. But yeah, by now I got that and I'm able to now do a few more things with it. It's really gonna help out once we get to the refinery, which I've already been doing a bit of stuff on off screen. But I think it's now time to just get in here and get started. I can definitely talk a bit more about it once we get going. So let's attach the... okay, definitely not from that angle. Let's attach the trailer, get it out of here and get it to the container loading station. When it comes to the Golema, I think the steering is a bit awkward. It always feels like it's rotating not around one of the back axles, but around a point slightly in front of that, which makes things feel a bit awkward, and I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if it's easy to notice just by looking at it, but it really feels a bit off. I've seen people talk on it on the Discord, so I may have to get into that conversation as well and revive the entire topic a bit. Because I think something's definitely off about it. It feels more like it has back axle steering or something. It doesn't really go naturally. Again, I don't know if just watching the video is gonna convey that in any meaningful way, but I definitely feels like something's off about it. And I've used 3-axle semis beforehand in this game, and they don't feel anything like this. Then again, this one is a lot longer than the other two, but I I'll get one of those anyways sometime soon, and then we can compare them more directly if you want to. But yeah, gonna be loading up the container first, so let's see what's available here. There are quite a few things available here, from 20 feet containers, which we can use 2 of, to 40-foot containers. And I think I want something very specific here in terms of where it needs to go, and that's the meat factory in Gujwa. Gujwa, whatever, I cannot really pronounce that. I'm sorry. It's also not worth all that much, sadly, but it's part of a longer supply chain that I finally want to get started in. So let's grab the containers on the trailer and let's go. So there would be a few more profitable jobs right now, but yeah, this is something that's required for other stuff later down the line. So better get started at some point. We've already done some stuff regarding the same supply chain in a different video, where we drove a container with the milk to the cheese factory. The meat and the cheese is gonna come together at some point and go to a fast food restaurant for premium pizza and premium burgers. So yeah, that's gonna be a few different jobs in the future. But this is gonna basically get us from the starting jobs for that industry chain to the later deliveries. So yeah, let's keep on driving, and let me just remember what I was about to talk about. Oh yeah, I should probably explain why I all of a sudden have a fully upgraded semi-truck that costs like 300k in this game. Basically, a few things came together. First up, I made a lot of videos about this game in the past, and I didn't keep up with publishing them. So right now I'm still 3 or 4 videos behind this one that I need to publish, so you guys are back up to speed with me. And yeah, I'm publishing one every day now, maybe with a few other things in between. For me, yesterday I just published the one for the Minecraft farm. So yeah, there are quite a few more things to go through. But yeah, no. So to make it clear, one problem was that I had a lot of unpublished videos for the series, and I was having a bit of a backlog with that. Second thing is that I wasn't feeling all that well in the past week, so I didn't do that much for recording. I just wasn't in the right mood to sit down and talk into the microphone. And yeah, that meant that I was just playing a lot without recording, which again also helps reducing the backlog. Because if I kept making videos about the stuff that I was doing, I would have likely had a lot more videos now that still were waiting to be published. And I don't want to put out like 2 or 3 videos a day. I think that's way too much for how infrequent my uploads are in general. So yeah, those were 2 of the factors, and also I just kinda was doing the same thing over and over, so it wouldn't have been all that amazing to watch to begin with. I was really getting into the whole delivery chain all the way down to the refinery, and then bringing stuff back up into the north. It's a long thing, it's something that I want to show off at some point, but it also... I didn't feel right just doing that with what I had at the time. I was tipping over the truck and trailer multiple times every delivery. It feels like the container... no, not the container, the tanker trailer is really balanced to be bought and then upgraded, having the wheel spacers on, reducing the height of it. They are all a bit awkwardly high. And then it feels like what it should be. Otherwise, the entire thing is just gonna be so immensely top heavy that it's not really going too well for you. So yeah, I think having a custom tanker trailer is definitely recommended for those jobs. And especially just having a better engine to begin with, having a upgraded semi-truck with wheel space and everything. It's all about stability, otherwise you're just gonna constantly tip over and it's kind of annoying. If you guys want to, I can definitely try making a delivery like that in the future. Would be using one of the stock trailers and maybe the SRT semi-truck again if you want to see me do that. But otherwise, I have now bought my own container, and I mean my own tanker trailer. I don't know why I'm mixing those two up, but anyways. I got my own trailer, I can use it now, and I'll be doing that in a few episodes, I guess. I also don't want to make every video now about semi-trucking, so I'll be mixing in other stuff in between, and we'll have like every other episode or something about semi-trucking. But yeah, one of the things I want to do in the near future is actually do deliveries to and from the refinery, just to show you guys how that's working. Honestly, they have done an amazing job when it comes to the entire design here. It just looks like a bit of a squiggly road going down here, but really once you get the truck, once you get the trailer, and once you do the entire job here, this is really challenging. The different elevation changes, the corner radius and all of that, it's just perfect to have an interesting ride there. It's not like railroads online where you just set and forget the engine and then just run the train until the next stop and nothing happens in between. You really have to be careful about it, and it's very interesting. Also, if you take a look at the top left, you can see not only that I'm almost level 200 for trucking now, because of how much the fuel from the refinery jobs pay. I also have my name changed, so I added LPD to the name, which is the tag that I need to use on the Workers League multiplayer server. Yeah, I've been taking the character, just doing a bit of trucking on that server because I think it's a nice change of pace, but well, once again, I don't think I'll be playing on that while recording. It's just that with the other players around, there's a lot more stuff to be attentive to and take care of, and I don't think it would work too well for me. I'm kind of struggling already just trying to talk about something, so that would be too overwhelming, I think. But yeah, it's been quite a bit of fun. I've also seen that recently we got an update that should improve multiplayer stability, especially when it comes to having other people come towards you and they are also holding their tugs or something. The desync there is crazy, or at least it used to be crazy. I hope it's better now. There was one attempted patch which messed up things a bit more than it helped fixing. And yeah, that took like a day or something, and then that one got updated again, so it should be a lot better now. Which is nice. Not just being left with things in a barely workable state for what's expected to be over a month or something. Yeah. Oh, don't wanna do that overtake now. But yeah, to talk a bit more about container trucking, I don't think I mentioned this already. Container trucking is quite interesting in that you basically get paid twice for the job. You get the full payment for doing the delivery to wherever it needs to go, but then you get the same money again if you just take the empty containers back to where you got them from. And I think that also helps just chaining the container deliveries together, because at the point where you deliver the empties again, just to load them off, you can also just get the next job and get going right away again, so this is kind of fun. Nice little variation on the entire thing, so that it's not entirely the same all the time. And yeah, it just really helps get the entire thing along and do a few things back to back, while never feeling like you're just wasting time, except when you are running into a pillar and now have a damaged radiator. I'll have to get that fixed in a moment. I also should maybe take care that I increase the volume on my end. I have two headphones, one of them with an integrated microphone, the one that I'm using right now. And this one that's a lot more comfy, has a better sound quality for myself. But yeah, it doesn't have a microphone, so I couldn't record with that. The thing is, the one with a microphone is it's a bit more quiet on my end. And sometimes I just forget to up the volume so I can hear the game to its fullest. And yeah, then I miss a lot of shifts because I don't really hear the engine. Okay, here we are. Getting a bit more money for delivering the empties. And you may have already noticed in chat that I have installments again. So that's from another loan I took recently. I think that's for the tanker trailer that I bought. It's quite the expensive one, but I think it's also worthwhile. 27k to go to the refinery. Tempting. Very, very tempting. Also, I just noticed I knew that the different containers had different weights, but this is something that I can finally see in the menu here. It's right above the map to the left there. Oh, this would be quite something. So some of these are much more heavy than others. We are not going to do that. That would be way too much right now. However, we can maybe take two of these to the race car factory. Let's do that. Seems to be the same color as the last ones. They seem to be pretty heavy. And they now also need to go on a bit more of a longer journey. This will be for the race car factory, which will eventually allow us to buy a Formula Ford style race car. So yeah, gonna get over there, do a few more deliveries. I think we've done small boxes to that location in episode 1. So that should be good. Now we have the containers, which I think should also be enough for the stuff that it needs there. But then we would also need to deliver some pallets. And at that point, I think we can have our own race car built. I think that's where we're at right now. I'm not entirely sure about how many containers and whatever else it needs. So we'll have to see about the different amounts. But I think in terms of the different types of goods, that's pretty much where it's at right now. But I think I need to get a repair done beforehand. Radiators can really screw you over quite significantly, so let's see if we can just poke the nose in and get to the repair point. We may be scraping the containers on the top here, but I think that's alright. Oh no, it's not even the containers, it's the top of the Golema. But yeah, the radiator is repaired, so that's good. I also switched around how I'm doing reversing and all of that. So there was an auto reverse feature that I turned off. So now I have to actually shift back down into reverse and all of that, but it makes braking a bit more consistent. Because otherwise you need to actually press accelerator to brake and all of that. It's like a lot of other games are handling it. But I think for this one right now, I want to get used to really using reverse and the brake always being the brake and never the reverse accelerator. So yeah, let's see if I can bring this home and not crash too often. Just looking at how much slower the truck is going right now, I'm a bit concerned about the weight of my stuff in the back here. Also, one thing that I should mention about containers. Right now, as far as I'm aware, there are two locations where you can get them from. We have been going to Lijo Harbor today, but there's also the, what is it, Overseas Imports Company. So yeah, imports, right here, has its own container loading station. So that's another location where we can go to. And I think that's also one that accepts containers from Lijo Harbor, just to get a few other goods going. Might need to make more deliveries to that as well, and then let's get it fully up and running. Oh god. And yeah, another thing that I want to mention regarding containers and trucks, when it gets to the real heavy stuff like we have over here right now, god, this feels like I'm driving in slow motion. One thing that really got on my nerves with the lighter semi-truck, the, the fully loaded containers and all of that, they start pushing into you if you use the brakes, and on the lighter semis it seems like if you apply the brakes while being a slight bit sideways, the containers are immediately gonna push into you in a way that has you spin around and yeah, just completely screw yourself over. So that's another reason why I wanted to have more beefy truck in order to deal with that, and I think especially 3-axle trucks work quite well with that. Also, apparently from the patch notes, the stuff that I showed off in the last trucking episodes on how much the back of the SRT truck was buckling down, that seemed to have been addressed by adding heavier springs to the semi-truck. So even beyond what we could upgrade beforehand, and I guess I'll have to check that out at some point soon enough. I don't think that warrants another episode of me using that truck, but I think it's worth bringing up because, yeah, it looked a bit like too much of an effect. So I'm glad that they reduced the impact of weight on the semi. And yeah, despite me having the strongest semi-truck engine right now, we are really not going too fast with this one. Also, there are both a 13 gear and a 18 gear transmission available. I'm not using any of those because I don't really feel like they always help me out that much, but I think at this point maybe it would be worth giving that another try. Or just getting a shorter gear ratio into this one, or at least final gear change. It just feels like with the other um, transmissions, you're just spending so much time shifting that you are losing a lot of speed on that as well. And yeah, every time you pick up speed from one gear, once you shift to the next one, you're just losing that momentum again. So there's definitely a point into not having that many gears. But maybe like, I don't know if it's realistic if something like that exists for semis, but maybe something like an 8-gear transmission would be a good compromise there. 13 seems a bit excessive, and 18 definitely even more so. But 6 might be a bit on the lower side. Also, there's a jailbreak in the game now, which has been added a few updates ago. So you can hear the engine rumbling, which is basically jailbreak is like an engine brake for diesel engines, which don't do that naturally, but you can upgrade that. And oh god, that turn is a bit sketchy. Oh god, oh god. Woof. Yeah, always gotta be careful. You are so slow on the uphill. You're gaining so much speed once you go to the decline again. Then that weird corner bit comes and you can get onto your side rather quickly. And yes, I'm speaking from experience here. So we are almost at the highway going over to Anson again, which I don't think I've visited in the, or at least not in a video since then. I've been there a few times to do the repairs once I went over to Only Island and do stuff over there. But I think especially for the playthrough, it's a bit of a long journey. I want to do this stuff with a refinery, and that may be its own episode, and that may be overly long. But that's what it's gonna be at that point. Just everything else right now, it's just that Lijo Island is so much more dense in activities than the other island. But I'm really looking forward to what they are going to deliver on that. It's definitely going the right way now. And one thing that I discovered recently, let me just quickly show you on the map. There already seems to be a layout for the next set of roads here. Over here there's the construction site and the road may just end over here, but you can see that there are definitely a few things that hint at a... Oh no, it would be going around here. That's definitely hinting at a new type of road going around the east end of Only Island. I had a look at this on the multiplayer server, and we may do a bit of discovery mission soon enough. I kind of want to explore this before they finally really lay out the road, just to show you guys what it's looking like right now. But I think I need to use another character for that at this point. I just don't really have much of an off-road going vehicle on this one yet. I think that should also be priority, but compared to getting the heavy-duty tow truck and maybe a few more trailers for the semis, yeah, I think that's more on the lower side. But in the end, I also want to have a few civilian vehicles just to play around with. Have a full-on off-road build, have a rally car kind of thing, maybe a tuner vehicle, sports car, whatever. Let me know what you guys want to see in terms of that. I cannot promise I'll be getting to that anytime soon, but considering the backlog that I had for the longest time, maybe by the point where I publish this video, I might be getting more in the position where I can maybe afford one of those vehicles. I mean, it's not even about the vehicles, it's about the upgrades. That's the most expensive part there. But yeah, we are coming off at Anson Speedway. I better turn on the jake brake again because this can be kinda sketchy. I'll be doing the return trip on my own without you guys. I think otherwise it's just getting a bit too long for the video. And then we're going to see what I'll be getting into in the next episode. I think garbage trucking would be a good idea to attempt soon. I also got myself a garbage truck at this point. I also upgraded it, and I think it's a fun and kind of relaxing activity. Gonna have to check it out sometime soon, but I don't want to make any promises on the scheduling, considering how often I said that I wanted to do tow trucking and how many episodes it took me until I finally got into that. Okay, here we have to turn left. Not really much going on right now in terms of traffic. I don't know, has the traffic here been a bit on the lower side in general? Because without recording, I had a few times where I just had a lot of cars come my way from either direction, and now it's very empty. Oh god. Kinda running over the guy running the, the facility here, but it's fine. Thankfully, there's no collision. Otherwise, I might need to call an ambulance or hearse at this point. But yeah, we delivered. And let's now take a look at the stuff over here. Okay, so yeah. We needed 2 small boxes, 5 of which we already delivered. So we are pretty good on that end. 2 containers, which we delivered just today. And there isn't even space for any more containers right now. So I guess we're always gonna need to deliver the containers in a timely manner. And we would need to deliver 6 pallet boxes. Or box pallets, I mean. Yeah, that makes more sense. So that would be the last thing before we can actually have the formula SCM produced. But to be clear, I wouldn't be buying that anytime soon. That's a 100k race car that cannot really do much else really. So yeah, there are definitely a few other things I would want to try out beforehand. Also, it's maybe a bit of a shame that there isn't really any way to do anything with the car if you don't want to buy it. So it would be kind of nice if you could deliver that to a dealership or export it at the harbor or something, and then just have capacity to produce more of those cars over here. So maybe the first one that you produce will always be available for buying. And if you bought it, you would need to produce another one, of course, but then maybe you could have an additional few vehicles that could be used for other delivery jobs. Just so that if you deliver stuff over here and you don't buy the car, that you cannot deliver anymore here. I think it would be nice to keep the production up and have another delivery chain for the cars here. Maybe you could also just deliver them to the other racetracks. There are a few standing around there for test driving and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know, there are a few things that could have been done here. I might need to make a post on the Discord and see what other people think about it. But I think there's a bit of untapped potential to keep using the factory here in the long run. Anyways, enough rambling. That's gonna be it for the video. Thanks for watching and see you guys next time. And you may already notice just how much lighter the trailer is now with the empty containers. So yeah, the weight of cargo definitely makes a difference, which is kind of nice. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. I'll be bringing back the containers and we'll see what I can do in the next video. So thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good one, and till next one, till next time, bye bye.